What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, I want to kind of just break down some of the 2027 news that came out last night from those listings from JT Prime 17, because there's a lot to unpack. I had to go through a lot of stuff in that video in a short amount of time. Didn't really get all the stuff that I wanted to talk about in that video, so I'm going to be going over some things here for the 2027 stuff that we got. So JT Prime said that the comic subline that's been talked about within the Hasbro team for like 3 years to be brought into Studio Series is finally coming in 2027, so 2 years from now. And we also have a Leader Class Age of Extinction Hound, 86 Swoop reissue, a Sleep Mode Optimus from the 86 movie, and we have the comics subline Fort Max and Soundwave, which are both going to be Leader Class. And all of these releases are going to be super early 2027 releases. So let's talk about the Soundwave first. Now, I don't know what this figure is going to be from. It could be from IDW, could be from Skybound for all we know, considering Hasbro wants to do some more Skybound stuff. And I also got that tip a few days ago that we may be getting a Skybound Optimus Prime within the next year or two. That may be an exclusive. So it seems like they do want to dip their toes into more Skybound stuff going forward, given the popularity that comic has attracted the last couple of years within the community and just in pop culture in general, especially with that Megatron arm. But I'm leaning towards it being more of the Marvel Comics color scheme, because that has been rumored for a long time, and I think it was also canceled in that comic subline that they did as a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. I think that was last year. And then it got taken by, I think it was Straxus or something. I can't remember exactly what happened, but there was originally supposed to be a Marvel Comics Soundwave release last year, and that got canceled. So I'm thinking that's where this figure is finally coming from. You gotta wait a few years to get it, but it seems like we are finally getting that long-rumored Marvel Comics color scheme for Soundwave. But the question is, will he be an all-new mold, or will he be a repaint as previously rumored from, I think people were saying, or leakers were saying a while ago, that it was going to be from the Earthrise mold, and it was going to come with some of the cassette tapes. Now, I don't know how true that is, or if that's still the case for this figure coming out basically 2 years from now. But that could be what's happening, or it could be a new mold. Considering it's from a new subline, I'd assume it's going to be a new mold, or maybe at the least an extensive retool based off of the Earthrise body. But who knows? This release is 2 years away. Now, for the Fort Max, I'm thinking this is going to be IDW. Because I also covered in a leak video like 5-6 months ago, maybe, possibly even longer. This was from like some Chinese website. Maybe it was Weibo. I can't remember exactly. But there was a ton of stuff that leaked, like a Titan class Energon Optimus and a bunch of other things. There was the first rumor of Trypticon getting a reissue from that leak that came out. So they've been right about a couple things from that list. So I'm thinking that because of Fort Max being in that leaked list where things have been right before from that, I'm thinking that's where they got this from, and we are getting an IDW Fort Max as a leader class in 2027 because of that leak that happened. Now, it could have just been a coincidence. I mean, people in the Transformers community have been wanting a Hasbro IDW Fort Max for basically over a decade now at this point. So it's a popular want from people, so it could have just been a lucky guess. But at the same time, they were right about some things you couldn't really guess for Hasbro to release. So I don't know. It could be something else, maybe a smaller G1 version from the comics or something. I can't remember if they downscaled Fort Max like they did with Squirpanock in the comics, but that could be an option too. But I'm definitely banking on it being IDW. It just fits what they've been going for a lot better to me. In Sleep Mode Optimus Prime, I'm assuming this is just going to be a straight up reissue of the Earthrise. I think it was an Amazon exclusive a few years ago. but I could be wrong. I'm just speculating. I don't know anything for sure, but that could be the case, or they could just be doing a repaint of the Commander Class 86 Optimus and releasing it under a leader class, maybe leaving out the trailer and just keeping the accessories, or they're taking out some accessories and it's just Optimus in the trailer. It could be either of those things, but I'm assuming it would just be Optimus himself and then some of the accessories that the Commander Class figure came with. But I don't know, there's a couple different options they could go with. It could be a freaking Siege repaint for all we know. Okay, it's definitely not going to be a Siege repaint, but you know what I mean. It could be a couple different options. And then the Swoop being a reissue, I don't mind them doing that, especially since by the time that's going to happen, it would be 3 years since the original Swoop figure came out in 2024. And definitely by then, that figure is going to be creeping up on the aftermarket, and a lot of new collectors are going to be joining in by the time of 2027. There's new collectors joining this hobby basically almost every day, I'd say. So it's good on them to reissue that, especially hot off the heels of the 40th anniversary in 2026, considering JT Prime said that these are super early 2027 listings. So that's probably just going in line with sort of the capsule subline that they're doing for Studio Series next year for the 40th anniversary of the 86 movie. So I don't mind this reissue at all. There's a lot of good reasons for this happening. And now for Age of Extinction Leader Class Hound. My boy, we're finally getting this guy. I'm so hyped for this, actually. Like, if it's the same quality as, like, Dark of the Moon Shockwave or some of the other peak Leader Class Bayverse figures we've gotten from Studio Series over the years, I'm sold. I may just buy this. Or, I don't know, I'm contemplating getting the MP scaled Wei Zhang figure that came out some years back. I've been wanting to get that for a little while now. But if this figure is good enough, I will double dip and get this Studio Series release as well. Because Age of Extinction Hound, he's one of my favorite Bayverse Autobots and one of my favorite Bayverse designs in general. He's just so badass with all the guns. The armored truck military vehicle mode thing is amazing. His fat robot mode is hilarious and dope. So I'm just really looking forward to the possibilities that they could take with this guy, especially with him being a leader class. I was worried with a future Studio Series Hound that he would be a Voyager, similar to the Last Night in Age of Extinction releases. But no, they're going for the jugular. They're dropping him as a leader class, as he should be in this modern age. I don't think they could release a $35 Voyager with like 10 guns like what they did with the 2014 figure, unfortunately, but that's just the reality we live in. So I definitely do feel like they're going to go all out with the accessories. They're going to give him that big, huge Gatling gun, his knife, those 2 pistols, the other 2 guns, and maybe another set or 2 of guns, I'd assume, and then just go all out on the sculpt, paint, and transformation of the actual Hound figure itself, so it could be as accurate in robot mode as possible, and in vehicle mode too. So yeah, the possibilities are endless on how they're going to handle that Hound figure, especially being a leader class, utilizing that budget. But yeah, guys, I'm pretty sure that's it for the stuff I wanted to talk about for 2027. I'm sure as the months and years go on, it's crazy to say years, but it is 2 years away, we're going to be getting more info on stuff, and y'all know me on this channel. I'm going to be covering it as always. But yeah, 2027 sounds super crazy and exciting already just for Studio Series. We don't even know what's going to be in the regular generations. But yeah, speculate away till the cows come home. What do you guys think is going to be happening in next year and even 2027? And how do you guys think Hasbro is going to be handling these figures once they come out? And yeah, thank y'all for watching this video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.